just went off on legs. Well, this poor dude, man, he got. He just got kind of crossfire, man. He got annihilated. This dude seized up on the machine. He's like, and fucking Rich, get on the fucking machine. And, Rich dragged him out of the machine. The dude's puking on the floor. Poor guy can't even get up because he's all seized up.
Yes, guys, welcome back to another podcast, Ultimate Fitness. Today we have two very, very special guests coming from Texas, all the way from Texas. Not their first time here, so Michael Johansson, welcome to the Ultimate Fitness podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. Glad to be here.
Brent Warren, welcome. It's been a great honour.
Thank you.
So how are you feeling after your flight to UK?
No, it feels great, you know. We started out Thursday, by checking out the European Championship, and then some sightseeing, and then we went over to James and
the Shed Gym.
Yeah, the Shed Gym, and had a really good workout there, and catch up with James and all these people there. So that was great. And now, of course, we're here at Birmingham. This is one of the highlights for me, and being here for more than. Back in 2010 or something like that.
Yeah, with the Body Power days.
Yeah, exactly.
So explain to the viewers what the whole ethos of the Iron World Tour is.
It's a way to connect people, like-minded people from all around the world, and doing so we use the label Iron World Tour just to create a little feeling of a journey. And it's actually not about the destination. It's just about the journey of, making life a little bit more fun and more successful by seeing other like-minded people, and push the envelope of big dreams, and trying to encourage everybody to reach whatever dream they have, and really cheer it on. And at the same time, that empowers ourselves to do the same.
Brilliant. I don't think a lot of the viewers know, but how did sort of Gasp start? I mean, do you want to go back to how it first began? Have we got time?
Yeah, I mean, a short version is to say that we did a little bit of a commercial fitness journey with Better Bodies in the Nordic, and that created a little bit of a need of something that was more of an emotional journey. So took out the core values of no excuses, relentless, being no compromises, and doing stuff with the heart and not with the wallet. And that's how we gave birth to Gasp. And it was like a give back to the hardcore community where we came from. And that hardcore community was, the backbone on how we started, and that's also how we're going to end it.
So how did you two guys meet?
2008, at the Arnold Classic. Mm-hmm. So Per Banal, who was
the photographer,
the photographer for he was a legend in bodybuilding.
Yeah,
and he did work for Muscular Development, and had a contract with Muscular Development, exclusive. And he talked to me. He goes, "Hey, are you with a clothing company?" I said, "No." He goes, "Well, there's this brand out of Sweden. They want to go global, and looking for somebody." He goes, "I want to introduce you." So he set us up, and met at 2008 Arnold Classic in Columbus, and been together ever since. So I met Michael, and he told me his vision. He wanted they were a small company, just in the Nordic companies and a few countries in Europe, and he said he wanted to go worldwide. And I was starting to do very well. I think the next year I got second at the Olympia.
I remember,
Yeah, I went on to win a lot of shows after that, and so we grew together. So as my brand took off, and I started dominating the world on the competitive stage, and Gasp started off. I think they were in half a dozen countries maybe back then. Now I think it's 110 countries they're in. So
incredible. So
it's been a good journey. So 16, 17 years and counting.
So Michael, what was it about Brent that you thought he's got to be part of the Gasp team?
My charming personality and overwhelming good looks.
No, it was not for the looks, I can tell you that. No, I mean, for me, it was very clear the first day when we met that we had the same outlook on life and how to pursue dreams and goals. And I felt like this is exactly the no excuses that I got motivated and inspired by people who think big and then go after it like there is no tomorrow. And I felt like Branch was embodies the working class mentality. Nobody owes you anything. You need to create your own path. And, that's stuff that gets me fired up. And I hope that I can inspire some people with what we're doing, also doing the same and leading the way from the front.
So when you travel around the world, you go to all these exhibitions, gyms, and you see everyone wears Gasp now, don't they? How does it make you feel seeing such a global influence it's had on both of your behalf?
I think I've seen it, from my perspective, traveling around. I've been to over 70 countries, and when I first started traveling, you never saw it in the States. You saw it. If you went to Sweden or Norway, you saw it a lot. They had a really good market saturation in those countries, but the rest of the world, UK, you didn't really see it. And now you see it everywhere. You see it in Canada, North America, all over Europe, South America, everywhere you go. So it's grown tremendously, and I think we've combined quality products, a vision, and a culture. And,
it's culture, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's that culture that everybody wants to be part of. So it doesn't matter where you're at. Bodybuilders are bodybuilders, right? Bodybuilding supersedes nationality and all that stuff, politics, all that stuff. Bodybuilding, no one cares where you're from. It's all about being. If you're a bodybuilder, you're in.
I was in Abu Dhabi last week, Dubai, and walked in the Oxygen gym, like world famous gym, and I'd say 90% of the people there, even the trainers, were wearing Gasp motor bodies, and they saw me wearing my stuff, and you get the fist pump.
Yeah.
So it sort of brings people together,
Yeah, and that's a little bit what gives me energy to see, people getting together and they feel like-minded because they're wearing Gasp. Now, of course, that's really what makes me going, and I love to see that. But at the same time, I never get tired of it, and I feel a little bit like a kid when I see it. It's not like I see it too much and get tired of it or something like that. I'm hungry to see more and hungry to connect more people around the world.
Yeah, obviously I follow you on social media, and you're always on it. You've got videos coming out, you've got new products coming out all the time. It's you never stop, is it?
You can't.
Exactly, yeah. That's why the company's grown so fast, because of your sort of work ethic and your vision.
Yeah, from my perspective, I don't feel like it's growing fast. I think it's been growing, steadily, and we've been doing our thing, regardless if it was headwind or, whatever wind is blowing. We're kind of we are pushing through, trying to do our best, and keeping everything together. So I don't care what weather it is, or I just want to do good stuff for the community of bodybuilding.
What do you think is your biggest sort of challenges over the last 15, 20 years for the company?
If you're going to talk a little bit like the inner workings of running a company, I think the danger is just that, that the company becomes bigger than the core values and the philosophy. Or not bigger, but they kind of take bigger space. And that's something that I felt like I had to catch 2017, 2018, because everything grew, a little bit faster corporate-wise than keeping up with the philosophy and the core values. So I doubled down on that, and I feel like all the friends around the world, they, we should stay grounded, and we should make sure that philosophy and core values always go before everything else. So that's the whole purpose with Gasp.
You guys going to the Olympia next month?
Yes.
What do you think to the Olympia now compared to when you were competing Branch?
It's different for sure.
It's different. Yeah.
It's it's a different generation. I think every generation shapes the sport, in their direction. You saw the guys from the 80s were much different than the 70s. The guys from the 90s were definitely different than the guys from the the 80s. And my generation did the same thing. We took it in a different direction than the guys from the 90s. I think the guys now, I think even the training, the nutrition, and the look is different from what we were on stage. There's a different mentality towards the training, different mentality towards the nutrition, and because of that, you have a different look on stage. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's just different.
It's just different, yeah.
Yeah, it's I used to hate it when the guys in the previous generations used to criticize us, and so I'm not going to be one of those guys that criticize the guys. I mean, it's theirs now. We took it and we handed it over to them, and they're doing it the way they want to do it. So, there's still some incredible physiques out there. There's some young guys up and coming that I think have potential to be really, really good.
Who are your sort of favourite physiques at the moment competing?
My favorite physiques, I think Hunter Labrada. If we could see him at 100%, we've never seen him at 100% on stage. He could do very, very well. You've got some young guys like Jordan, Hutchison coming up. In a couple of years, I think you're going to see him do really well. Martin Fitzwater,
yeah.
Martin, I saw him. He's matured as a person and as a bodybuilder tremendously in the past 2 years.
You were training him a couple of years ago, wasn't you? Yeah.
And I saw him compete in New York Pro this year. He arguably could have won the show against Nick Walker. And I think he's going to do very well at the Olympia. I predict a top 5 finish, for him at the Olympia, because he's got the shape, he's got the structure, and he's got the conditioning. And I think that's one thing that the top tier guys now, with the exception of a few of them at the very top, lack the conditioning and that dense, grainy muscle.
Got that fullness as well, isn't
Yes.
he? That round.
And he's got the total package, and he's still young. So guys like Derek and Hade, of course, they're
at the top,
yeah. Deservingly so. The problem they're going to have is one of the bigger guys like a Samson, if they ever really bring it.
Or Andrew Jacked.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad day. Because a good big guy always beats a good smaller guy. But right now, none of those guys are bringing it. So, Derek and Hadi are the clear-cut favorites.
Yeah, I think this year's Olympia is going to be an interesting one. It's sort of, it's not wide open, but I think there's a few guys that could sort of step in.
Yeah, you're right. There's a few that could step in, but we could sit here for the next hour and I could name guys that could have done it and didn't do it. Could have, should have, would have. And you got to do it. So I mean, there may be a guy that nobody's got on the radar, like in '98.
Ronnie came.
Came out of stepped up and brought it and beat the whole world. So you never know. Somebody might get it together, and one of these young guys out there that says, you know what, I'm going to pay the price and I'm going to do it. So you never know.
How about you, Michael? Anyone that are your sort of favourites?
No, I mean, of course, I stick to Hunter.
Yeah,
I really
Gasp.
Yeah, exactly. But I do like his physique, and I see his progress lately and maturity, not only physically. So I think I root for him.
I'd say a good battle is going to be the 212 between Keon and Sean.
Yeah.
I think I've seen both of them here recently, and Keon is going to be a little bit bigger because he was under the weight cap. They both are under the weight cap, and so he's put on a little more muscle. He's got the best shape I've seen since Flex Wheeler.
The shape is incredible, isn't it?
He got his conditioning right last year, and then Sean, is on a vengeance, man. He wants it back, and he's been in this position before. He's been the champ. He's lost and got it back. So, I mean, he came back from this last Olympian. He's been training the entire year. He's in Texas there with us, and he's on a mission.
Yeah, he set up his own gym as well, isn't he? Sort of in preparation.
So he's built his whole everything around getting the title back. So both of those guys are super hungry, and so that's going to be a good battle.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing Keon about 3 years ago when he was sort of coming up on the scene when he was, and he's put on probably 10, 15, 20 kilos.
I think he'll be probably 3 kilos heavier for this one, and he'll come at the top of the weight class. Sean is probably 178 or something on stage.
Sean's a bit shorter. Isn't
he's shorter, but he's a tank, and so that's gonna be an interesting battle. If both those guys come in 100%, it's gonna be very be fun to watch.
Michael, who are your inspirations then when you're sort of training, when you first started training?
I mean, I grew up with Dorian Yates and had this grainy poster,
The front double bicep, 93 Olympia.
Yeah. And that was a huge inspiration. And of course, I started training a little bit before that, looking at Lee Haney and Rich Gaspari. I really like the intensity that Rich brought to the training, and that's how I like to train. And,
Rich still trains like that now, does he?
He still trains like that. Rich was one of my mentors, the first bodybuilding magazine I saw. in the late 80s had Rich Gaspari on the cover. And of course, I read it front to back. And I became a fan of Rich, not just because his physique, but because of his training style and his attitude towards training. And I got the opportunity to work for him and work with him, for nutrition. And we traveled the world together. And
so you trained at the old gym, didn't you?
We did. And he's an animal. At the time, he was in his 50s, and he was so an animal. And I told Rich, I said, I still kicked his ass, but I said, I'd have loved to train with him when he was prime. It would have been fun. So
yeah, because Rich was here back in March for the Arnold, and I got to train with him. And I said, Rich, you're 61. I mean, you still train like you're training for the Mr. Olympia. He's got that sort of mentality, drop sets after drop sets, and he was like the last man standing. And
so I'll tell you a funny story here in UK. So we came over here. I won the Dallas Europa, and he wanted me to come to UK and do a tour. I was like, well, man, I'm doing the show on Saturday. He goes, well, man, do the show, win it, and then get on a plane Sunday and come to meet me over there. I'm like, all right. So I won the show that afternoon. On Sunday afternoon, I'm on a plane. I land over here, and we'd run this competition, right? Come train with Branch and whatever. So all these people entered it. This guy won. He's like a light heavyweight, bodybuilder, and he's all excited to train with us. And I just competed. This is on a Monday. I just competed on Saturday, right? And he's like, come on, man, let's do legs. I'm like, I don't want to do legs on Monday. I just competed, man. I want to do like chest or something. He goes, no. So we do legs. Well, this poor guy, he's all excited to train with Branch and Rich. This poor guy, got caught in a crossfire. It was so bad for this dude. Dude, he got fucked up so bad. And Rich just started poking me, right? And he's poking me, and he would always do this to me. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, looking at him like, dude, I'm getting pissed, right? He just keeps on and on and on. I keep slamming more weight on and stuff. And he starts talking shit. I'm like, finally, I got pissed. I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you want to fucking do this? And so I got mad and just went off on legs. Well, this poor dude, man, he got he just got kind of crossfire, man. He got annihilated. This dude seized up on the machine. He's like, ugh! And fucking Rich, like, yo, the fucking machine. And, Rich dragged him out of the machine. The dude's puking on the floor. Poor guy can't even get up because he's all seized up. And then so it's just me and Rich now, right? And so Rich, he ends up getting sick. He throws up everywhere or something. And of course, I'm like going to be ruthless. Now I've smelled blood in the water, so I'm like, I'm going to get your ass now. And so we finished the workout. Rich threw up everywhere, and he was all fucked up and shit. And I'm mad. And then I thought back, I'm like, what happened to this poor guy? And Rich, I don't know, man. So I go, he ain't never going to buy the Gaspari products.
We should talk to you. Should find that guy.
Shit, he may not have survived.
Yeah, but I bet back then there wasn't even like any cameras or anything like that. You were just training.
Yeah, we're just training. Yeah, nobody's filming nothing.
No filming, yeah.
So
just sort of miss the days when you could just train and you wouldn't have a camera shoved in your face.
1,000%. Yeah, it's people do it for the wrong reasons, I think now. We did it back in the day because we loved it. We loved training. We loved to train and you wanted to win. Now, that's the two reasons you did it. And that's the reason I still train. I love to train. Now it's too much of a, social media, I guess, has become necessary evil for these guys. They want to make a living, but it takes away from, I think, the passion of it. We did it because we love to do it, train. And you be in the gym all by yourself. The best workouts I ever had in my life weren't filmed. My best leg sessions, back sessions, weren't caught on film. They were just in Metroflight.
The thing is, when you train,
Johnny, they're grinding.
Yeah, you can't train like film yourself. It's hard to sort of have a good session.
I used to get, when social media first came out, Facebook back in the day, that was a thing. And, my wife was like, we need to do this. I'm like, I'm not doing this crap. I'm like, you think I'm going to walk around doing a selfie like a fucking teenager or something? And I'm like, what's that going to do for me? And she goes, we need to get followers. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll care less. So she started doing it. She would like get my workout partner to, Johnny wouldn't do it, but this other guy, Matt, would train with us sometimes.
Yeah.
And get him to freaking film. I wouldn't know it. And so I see this crap pop up. I'm like, who filmed this? And she was always scheming some way to get.
I remember, so you got footage you've never seen before.
Yeah. See, and get it. And then I'm in Australia. She calls me and says, hey, we got 1 million followers on Facebook. I'm like, foopty-doo-dah. Yeah, I'm like, whatever. And then she ran like this advertisement, for T-shirts and all this stuff. And we sold all these T-shirts. And I'm like, then the light went off. I'm like, all right, you can make some money. And then, this company started battering. I'm like, thank God she had the foresight to see the value in it. Now I see the value in it. And it's a necessary evil.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the generation now, they don't know any different. So it's like, obviously you need social media now, don't you?
Yeah, it's a necessary evil. It doesn't matter if it's a fitness related or just business in general. You got to have social media.
What do you think to all this, Michael? Training and social media?
I think it creates a soft society. No, but I feel it actually does.
But where, just think where we would be without social media, though. The companies, your business.
Of course, you need to do social media, but I do feel like we have to think a little bit more, depending on what kind of goals we have, of course. So I have yet ever seen Branch take out the phone and record during a workout. It has never happened. And I've been around him a lot, but I can't say more than maybe one or two other persons that I met that do the same. Most other people bring out the phone during a workout, and I feel like maybe we should think a little bit more about that and not do it that often.
Not film too much.
Yeah,
but even.
But I mean, like you can have a setup where you have someone filming for you, and that's what I think. Some of those people who are a little bit more advanced, should think about instead of maybe destroying their own workouts. Not destroying them, maybe, but making them less valuable.
But when you do that, it interrupts your intensity, and and you lose your intensity if you have to stop, pull out a phone or set up a tripod or the crap you're doing. And I also protect my workout time fiercely. If you interrupt my workout, you're going to get a negative reaction from me, and because that was my time. And if you can't take 1 hour out of the day for yourself and put it aside, that's an issue.
And just want to say also, when I say this, I don't mean to be judgmental in any way. I just mean that whatever goal you have, that you do what it takes to reach your goals, and maybe the phone is not the best way to reach it if it's about training. So, and then I feel people can do whatever they like. I don't care.
Yeah, I think the problem now, everything's on them phones in there, like music, emails, social media, like messengers, like everything is glued to that phone. And it's hard for people to sort of, everyone comes to my gym now, they've got headphones on, they're in their own little worlds. Yeah. And you go to say hello to them, they're just, it's quite sad really, I think.
Yeah. And we're all part of that, and we all need to think a little bit. I need to think, okay, so where do I put my focus, my, like whatever it is, I need to think a little bit. Sometimes my wife tells me to put away the phone, and she's right.
Yeah, I think you can. It's only going to get worse, I think. I think there's just content. Everyone's filming, and I mean, it's an addiction, isn't it?
It is. I mean, social media has done some good things. It's done some bad things. I think for the athletes, it's opened up a lot of opportunities, but it's also killed some opportunities. I mean, I'm just looking on the wall over here at the magazine covers. Back in the day, if you got a magazine cover on Flex or Muscular Development, that's like a big deal. And it's social media killed those. Magazines are a thing of the past, and so the problem with bodybuilders, most of them are introverts, right? And so it's very hard to do self promotion, especially if you're an introvert. Even if you're an extrovert, it's hard for most 99% of people. So I think some of the top bodybuilders are not necessarily good at self promotion because they are introverts. Bodybuilding's a solitary lifestyle. You grind away. You're doing cardio by yourself. You're training by yourself. I mean, it's a solitary lifestyle, and it's hard for most of the guys to do it and promote themselves and be successful in it. That's why I think you see guys that aren't even pros that are, they're in shape, whatever, but they wouldn't do good on a stage. They do very well on social media because they're good at self-promotion.
They can talk. Yeah. But I think if you look at people, I mean, I'll give Dorian for an instance. He was a very introvert, but if you watch a lot of his early interviews, it was like could hardly string a sentence together. But obviously, he's got better as he's been in front of the camera more, doing more podcasts, more videos, seminars. So I think it does, in some ways, it does help you sort of develop your character.
Yeah, but I also feel like it comes with age, regardless. In the beginning, you're doing your thing and you're focusing on yourself and your achievement as a bodybuilder. And then after a while, you turn into more of a mentorship and you start focusing to maybe help others and to not do the same mistake as I did or whoever.
Yeah, I mean, do you do more for social media now, Brent? You're not that active on stuff like that.
Yeah, social media, like far as my personal media, host almost every day.
Do you have someone that does it for you, or do you do it personally?
Yeah, I have help with it. I direct it.
Yeah.
I have help with it. And I just have to with my day and all the obligations and things I've going on. There's just no way I couldn't do it all by myself. And so I definitely have some help with it, but I approve everything that goes up there. So.
Okay. Well, you've had a training session today to back. Michael, you did back as well. Yeah. How was the session? I mean, obviously retired now, 10 years. How's your training compared to what it was when you were competing?
And I'm just trying to still look like a bodybuilder. So, no, I still love to train. I still train intense. I train at that same level that I did when I was competing. People would ask me why I train so hard back in the day. It's because I wanted to win. I wanted to be the best. And, once that I retired, then I didn't have training for that anymore. So my goal now is that I want to be healthy.
Did you find it hard to sort of transition from training like balls out to sort of, when you're retired, sort of train less intensity? Or did you like think, I need this to sort of give my body a break?
The first year I retired, nothing changed. Johnny was still competing, and he was, so I was still training with him. So nothing really changed. I mean, we were still banging, going heavy, going hard. Then he retired after I did, and then things changed. And I love to train. I love to push myself. So I had to make a conscious effort to back it down some, and I wanted to lose weight. Lost like 40 pounds, probably, from my competitive days. That was intentional. I started cutting meals. I eat about 4 meals a day now.
Still a lot, really, because it's still more than most people eat.
Yeah, true. But, I used to eat 7 meals a day.
All right, okay.
So I just started cutting meals out until my weight started coming down and then settled down to where it is now. And I'm comfortable. I'm good with how I look, and I feel great.
You feel better, healthier.
And I'm healthy, most importantly. So knock on wood. Hope it stays that way. I just had a son.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah.
Also, I told my wife, I said, I got to be healthy at least for another 20 years, get him.
So how's it feel becoming a dad at 49?
Incredible. Yeah, I would have another one if I could talk my wife into it. I've got my second, I had a daughter, and now we got a son. And like I said, I would have had 3. I'll have another one. She'll let me.
Well, you never know. Maybe next year.
So no, it's a blessing for sure.
You gonna get him on the weights when he grows up?
I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I want him not trained, but I'll be a bodybuilder. So I want him to make his living with his brain, not his body.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap this up because I know you're both hungry, and I appreciate you coming to choose an Ultimate Fitness as one of your 3 gym top tours. I know you went to James's gym yesterday. That's a great gym, isn't it?
Great gym. James is a great guy. He's an incredible bodybuilder, but he's even a better person.
Yeah.
This lady, welcomed us with arms, and on a great day there for us. And same to you. Thank you.
James is a great representative of UK bodybuilding, and we appreciate you coming. I mean, there's thousands of great gyms in the UK, but for you to come to Ultimate Fitness, it's an honor.
James is a bodybuilder's bodybuilder.
Yeah.
He's a throwback. I called him a dinosaur yesterday because he's a throwback to my time.
It's quite refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And he's still keeping it alive. And he's that old school gritty, trains balls to the wall, super heavy. And he's fucking huge.
He is. So I trained with him 2 months ago, and we trained back actually at his gym, and the guy warms up on the stack, and it's ridiculous.
I was just laughing, because I did chest with him yesterday. I was like, "So man, you don't want to do chest with me, man. I can't push you no more." Oh no, come on, mate, let's go. And of course, going up a plate. He's putting 2 plates on each side at a time. He's going up 180 pounds every set. I'm like, yeah, I remember those days. Oh,
wait till you're our age.
A little quick story. So we go to dinner last night. Such a gentleman, and we had a big crew of people. And he goes to pay, and Michael says, "Man, help me." I'm like, "Huh?" And James is trying to pay. So I'm like, no, we're paying. And he turns around and starts pushing on me, pushing, and it's like pushing a damn rhinoceros or something. He goes, "You're past your prime, bro. I'm paying now." And I'm like, "Cool, pay." So,
yeah, James is a good guy. Well, thanks for coming today. And you're off to Ultraflex Durham tomorrow to the Anth, and you're supposed to be training legs with Anth, aren't you?
Yes, I don't think MJ knows about this one yet.
No, I haven't heard about this story.
We'll wait till Anth gives you the good news. But Ultraflex is a great gym. It's I was there last month training with Anth tore his tricep, didn't he? But it's an awesome gym. So you're very lucky to go there.
I'm really happy for that we have you and Ant and James in UK here holding up the old school bodybuilding legacy. And, we have somewhere to go. So, without you guys, it would be, it wouldn't be the same, So I'm super happy that we have you guys.
We appreciate you.
And it feels like a home away from home.
And you can tell by like all the people I train, they're all got the gas gear on, and it's not just because you're here. They generally wear it all year round.
Yeah, no, I like it, and that's why we're here, because they show with their intensity and their their heart that they are in it, and they are not fooling around, and so I love it.
Yeah, and it's great. You bring good energy to the gym, and we had some good deadlifts today, and it's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, and let's get some food.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure.
So much.